Football is back, ladies and gentlemen, which now means it's time to get your team's football shirt. But I'm not trying to pay £120 for a football shirt. I'm just saying. But I have found the solution for myself and for you, the lovely audience of the Don Husam channel, with your own coupon promo code. And this is the solution, ladies and gentlemen. All you've got to do is just go to okjersey.com. As you guys can see, all the options are there. Of course, I'm a Liverpool fan, you guys already know. And then this is the shirt. Look how amazing it looks. I'm just going to go pick my size. And then after that, I'm going to choose the Premier League patch. And listen, I'm too old to be putting any player names on the back. So I'm just going to get it as it is. I'm going to click add to cart, view cart. And this is the same thing that you guys do on any website. You proceed to checkout. You fill in all your information. And then after that, coupon code Husam. When you click this coupon code, you get a 8% discount. Enjoy shopping, guys. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. We've got another crisis meeting on our hands. The crises, if that's a word, aren't over at Liverpool Football Club because it's yet another defeat. It's yet another loss. Anyway, we're here. We don't hide, win, lose or draw. We're doing content for you guys during this international break. I know you guys are bored as shit. But regardless, we got everyone locked in. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Fozzie's channel, LFC Red Forever channel is in the description. The Jerry James show is in the description. And Mike Das LFC is in the description. So go give them all a subscribe. You get me, Mike Das. It's Wednesday and Liverpool still suck. Anyway, big up to everyone. I hope you guys are all good. And let's just start. Let's just start. I feel like I've got to let Mike go first.
Yeah,
because he's planning on scorching the earth, apparently, whatever the hell that means. Guys, don't forget to check out our sponsors, OK Jersey as well. Use code Husam for 8% off. Plenty of surprises coming your way as well. I'm cooking something in the background for you guys, so hold tight on that. And yeah, like this video. Already 200 people in here. Mike, what have you made of Liverpool so far?
You know when your phone stops working and you got to like factory reset it back to all the default settings and it deletes everything from your phone? That's basically what happened in 5 days. Arne Slot decided to put out the lineup that everyone wanted to see, but he lost. His phone got corrupted. So he had to factory reset everything back to what it was. And what I saw against City was exactly what I saw against Brentford, United, Palace, Chelsea. City didn't have to do anything special. And you heard Arne Slot say it himself. They put 6 in the middle and they took away the center of the park. They did exactly what I've sat here and said that other teams should do every single week. This was not a tactical masterclass. This was like pre-K level education. This was, you get paid money to do the job. Oh, of course you watch film. It's this easy. We vacate the midfield in offense and defense. You're never going to win games. And now, of course, people refuse to admit that, so we have to put caveats. We have to say, well, Konate can't be on the ball. I challenge you to name me a single center back on the planet who can bypass a midfield 6 by himself. They're going to say they pressed masterfully against us. Okay, so did literally every other team that we've played. How come you didn't prop them up like you're propping up Man City? They're going to talk about the missed opportunities as if Manchester City didn't miss opportunities themselves. To me, people can scapegoat whatever they want. You could say offside goal this, offside goal that. I did a watch along. I sat at the watch along. I think it's a goal, but it doesn't matter because we don't deserve to be equal here. And at the end of the day, the screenshots prove themselves. The evidence proves themselves. You have a manager that does not occupy the center of the park. If you agree that the midfield is the most important area of the pitch, then we can agree that that is the root cause to everything. The back line looks poor because you don't have a midfield. The front line looks poor because you don't have a midfield. The proof is in the pudding. Rewatch the games. You'll see it. You will see it yourself. It is so easy to play against us, and it's because Arne Slot makes it so. And again, I ask you, if you were a father and you put your son in a position to fail and he failed, did he exceed your expectations? Are you going to get angry at him for failing because you put him in a position to fail? No, you aren't. So why would I get angry at these players consistently when I see the same errors from the same system, from the same fundamental flaws that put them in positions to fail? Guys, do not forget, 5 losses out of 11 games. That's a 60% win rate. That's not even a 60% win rate. That's a 60% points taken from rate. And 3 of those games were won in the last 5 minutes of the game. So 15 minutes separates us from 12 points to 18 points. We can go all the way back to the back end of last season, but of course you're going to put context and asterisks over every single loss. You're going to say, well, that was the first leg in a 2-legged side. That was a Carabao Cup final. That was after we won the league. The players were drunk. At the end of the day, this man has lost more games than Ruben Amorim in 2025. I think we've conceded 67 goals in the calendar year of 2025, and it all comes down to we don't play a midfield. I can point you to games last season where we had the same struggles. These players, this narrative that these players are fitting into a new system, it's not a new system and it's not the new players. It's the same problems as last year. It's the same system as last year. I ain't going to do the whole redo the context of the title race last season, but at the end of the day, as someone brought it up in my chat earlier, second place finished on 74 points. I don't remember the last time that ever happened in the last 10 years of this football league. But he won me the league last year. Thank you very much. But he's proven this year that he is.
But when you say context applies to last season, why is that like such a crazy opinion to have, though?
No. I'm saying I don't want to ruffle feathers. Like we don't have to go into the context of the league, right? But at the end of the day, our form from February on was atrocious. I remember Everton away.
If after we win the league, we lose a couple of games, well, how does that
Because think about it, Husam. Think about it this way. If you were a manager and you wanted to try something new, when would be the best time that you could try something new? When the stakes are irrelevant. Once you win the league and you're out of every other competition, the result doesn't matter. So, of course, this is the perfect time to try something. We saw Soboslai drop into the double pivot. We saw a change in the way that we built up. We saw a change in the way that we played very clearly. So, again, all I'm saying is the proof has been in the pudding. The writing has been on the wall. I know that Jerry's tired of saying it. I know that I'm tired of saying it. We've been even in the games that we won, guys, we played the same way. We just put away our chances and we had better individual brilliance. The path with this manager is very clear. He ain't ever going to change. So it either going to work, which is never going to work, or he's got to go. We've gone from stage 1 5 weeks ago on your channel. I said it's stage 1. We're now at stage 4. So, we're getting pretty close to terminal. It's time to address it. That's my opinion.
I agree. 100% agree. Guys, we're in trouble. Nah, listen. The reason I don't say, let me say something to you guys here. It's not about turning. I'm from a generation of fans that was growing up with, managers that was taking over were ex-players, if you know what I mean. So that's why people my age don't really say managers out or anything like that. It's up to the club what they want to do with this manager. I don't really care. I mean, he's out of his depth. He's out of his depth. I got to be real, guys. He is struggling. He doesn't know what he's doing. The team don't look like they know what they're doing. I predicted that game in the first 5 minutes of the game. I already knew what was going to come. I said it on my live watch along. I said, it's going to be a long day, guys. Prepare yourselves. The first few minutes, Konate started doing some madness. What's his name? Gravenberch started passing the ball away. We kept on losing like every battle straight away from the first 5 minutes, and it just continued through the 10 minutes. And then, you get Konate and Bradley like dumb and dumber, hit each other somehow, give a penalty away eventually. We lose a penalty. The goalkeeper saves it. You expect a team to wake up after that, but they didn't. They still continue doing the same crap. And then we get a goal back, and everybody's crying about a goal. Sorry, so they scored the goal, and then we get a goal back, and everybody's crying about a goal Van Dijk scored. Even if that goal was allowed, we still would have lost that game. Listen what I'm saying. There was a penalty that was given. The goalkeeper saved it, and they still didn't wake up after that. So what
Great save, by the way.
Yeah.
Great save.
Great save. And what gives you the right to think if we get an equalizer, we're going to win the game after that? That we're going to get confidence after that. 0-0. Goalkeeper saved it. We didn't do nothing. If Van Dijk scored, we still ain't going to do nothing because the whole game was based on Man City dominating us. Let me say something to you guys, yeah? There was 3 midfielders at Man City. Gonzalez, Bernardo Silva, and Foden. When did you ever see Foden and Gonzalez, Foden, and Bernardo Silva. When did you ever see Bernardo Silva and Foden battle people? You know, this is the embarrassing thing about this. They battled our midfield. What's their size? They're not even 6'4", and they are battling our midfield. And people are telling me we're okay. We're in trouble here, guys. I said this to you, Husam, in the last stream. I said, I'm worried now. I mean, I'm worried, and everybody said I'm worried because the head coach that we got that makes some silly decisions every single time that we play. He hasn't got a clue, guys. He's out of his depth. We're in trouble here. Even if we have an international break and come back, we're still going to be the same because there's no tactics out there. The players don't know what they're doing. We're all over the place. We haven't got no width. We've got no skill to get past players. Guys, it took Szoboszlai's shot to be the first shot of the game. And you're telling me we're okay? We're in trouble, man. I don't see us coming back from this. We're 8th. We're behind Man United. We're behind Sunderland. If that doesn't show you we're in trouble, I don't know what will, man. Listen, like, the club has to do what they have to do. And I don't see us improving it with this manager. The players don't look like they want to play for him. Even when Van Dijk speaks after the game, doesn't motivate me for the next game either. He looks like a person that's not interested anymore. Salah's still running in the wing and running into players. O'Reilly's, had him in his pocket throughout the game. We're blaming Florian Wirtz for his signing for the problems that we. Listen, it's the head of the table that is the issue. This guy is out of his depth. He doesn't know what he's doing. You could see it on the pitch. You know what I mean? How can midfielders like that battle Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and McAllister? Think about what I'm saying.
We didn't play with the midfield. That's why.
I don't know what we play with, Mike. I asked. Let me say something to you guys. I've asked a lot of Liverpool fans today, yesterday, the day before, what is our style of play? Everybody says, I don't know. If everybody is saying, I don't know, what are we fighting here, guys? Like, what are we actually fighting here? The guy's done. He's out of his depth.
So can we get an official announcement here? Is pause they slot out now?
Listen,
we had it already. We had it already on the last show.
Bro, you don't need to hear.
When he said Wallahi, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to
hear the words. You know what it is, guys. You know, when you watch a club for so many years, you know how things turn out in it. You know that. You know how good things are, and you know how bad things are. This is bad, man. This is very bad.
Listen, the only thing is, guys,
even when I said that, even Mike, even when I said 2-1 the other day, I even said it to you guys. I'm still, I am still worried about Arne Slot's decisions in the game.
Yeah. Well, he had to play like he did against Madrid. But again, I only go back because I love all of these player merchants. Tom Little, my favorite player merchant, the man who loves to just call out individuals because he can't look at a system to save his life. I ask you, if I was seeing different problems in all of the games, I would say, you know what? We probably have individual issues because the problems are changing and they're circled around certain players. But when I see the same problem, the same exact way, no matter who's in the team, no matter what formation on paper is, no matter who we're playing, no matter where we're playing,
we're getting worse, Mike. We're not getting better. We're getting worse.
But it's the same thing. Again, Husam, I just shared something. I want to ask you at the Brentford game. Did I show you this? At the Crystal Palace game? Did I show you this? At the United game? Did I show you this? In every loss we've had this season, did I show you a fucking exact screenshot that looks just like this? Tell me, how is it that Manchester City don't possibly dominate this picture? One of you educated people in the chat who like to call me a Yank who doesn't know ball, educate me and tell me what player available in the market on planet Earth, what manager, what anything changes this from I get fucked to I do.
There's one player, Mike. There's one player, but we had him. It was Trent. He hits that ball straight into there, and he goes and picks out anyone from any position in the pitch. By the way, I'm not saying you should have stayed or go. I'm just saying that's the one player that I know that
but the thing is, Jerry, I still didn't like that.
Problem's still there. No, I wouldn't like it. I'm not saying I would like it. I've got my own opinions on how football should be played, but if you've got Trent that can hit A to B and B can be anywhere on the pitch.
Agreed.
Then, of course, that run that Salah's making, it probably goes and finds his feet. The run that Gakpo makes probably finds his feet. But let's just clear some stuff up, man. There's 3 things that for me are criminal by the man called Arnie Slot, as Mike alluded to him, Arnie Cups, which I found it hilarious, right? I found it hilarious when I saw that. Point A, yeah. You have spent nearly £500 million, 450 million on players, and you've struggled to get any sense of just quality from any of the signings, from any of them. Let's just be honest. Even an Ekitike, I think he's a quality player, but let's be honest, if the season ends today, he's not top 5 strike. We're not talking about, top 5 signing or top 5 strike in the league, right? Cool. Second one is the players that are actually in the team now, week on week, game after game, are becoming progressively worse. Progressively worse. So it started off with Virgil van Dijk, outstanding. He made the most clearances. I mean, out of any centre back in the league, most headers, most touch, all of that. And what started to happen? He's becoming shit now. Gravenberch started outstandingly. What's happening with him now? He's becoming shit. You still got shit. That's just been shit the whole season, right? Salah, Gakpo, Isak, crap. Kirkes, crap. Bradley, hot and cold, but he's working hard. Konate, crap. But cool. McAllister, crap. But anyway, right? And the third thing, that's the most criminal thing that this manager has done. I watched the games and I still don't know what the hell he's trying to do.
Nobody knows.
He doesn't have a system. We can't keep the ball. We don't. So possession, we're not a possession-based team because we can't do that. We're not a pressing team because we can't really do that properly. We're not a set-piece team because we're not really great at set pieces. We don't sit back and sit in a low block because we're not great at that either. No. We don't defend set pieces well either. So when I think about it, what is this Liverpool team? You couldn't tell me. It's essentially a bunch of individuals. Nobody can. And I've been asking this question. What is the ideology? What is the philosophy? Forget the formation. Forget who plays where. What are the principles? When Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool, he had 3 days of training. First game, we knew exactly how we wanted to play. Guess what? Yeah. And this is even worse. This is even more of an indictment on this manager. Amorim came to the team, and straight away, whether you agree with it or not, whether it flipping works or not, I know what the manager's trying to do. Whether it's successful is a completely different question. We don't know what the hell he's doing. You're saying one thing, Husam. Tom Little saying another thing. Cal saying another thing. Mike showing us donuts. I think we're trying to play possession football. Someone else on Redmen TV is telling us we're a pressing team. No one knows what's going on. Some people think we bought for 3 at the back. Other people think we should play a 4-2. There's no idea of what's going on. It's gotten to the point now where our amazing window, right, is now being critiqued, and we're sitting there scratching our heads thinking, maybe we're doing that. Maybe Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards, maybe they've shafted us. I'm speaking to people when they're telling me, maybe Slot didn't want these players. Maybe they forced these players upon him. These 3 components.
What?
No, I'm not saying that.
No, Jerry. No. I'm just making that statement. I'm just making that because guys, there's nothing new. There are no new issues. Same issues as last year.
No. I know, but I'm saying that these are things that people are proposing. These are the narratives. These are the conversations I'm having. So now, when I break all that down and I look at it, right? Again, I think this player's been shit. That player's been shit. It goes back to what Husam said, and this is what I don't understand about Husam. He sat here and told us, I don't care. You can take Salah out. You can put this person in here. I don't think it's going to change. I think we'll still be shit. So it goes back to who is the main culprit of what's going on? Who's the key factor as to why this isn't working? And it is one man, and it's the manager. There's no, I don't see where the hope's coming from. I don't see anything that people see. We go and look at Real Madrid and Aston Villa, right? And you look at 2 teams that played into Liverpool's hands. And guess what? And I said it to everyone. If you can't get up for the Real Madrid game at home, which arguably could be Liverpool's biggest game this season, because if you get knocked out from the Champions League and get knocked out and you lose your games in the Premier League, that could be it, right?
Jerry, in the Real Madrid game, they were advertising for themselves. They were playing like that because they know they want to go there.
And guess what? You look at it and we're like, when Madrid, they weren't at their best. Liverpool done well, yes. You look at Aston Villa's goals and you're like, well, Liverpool didn't even press well.
Villa started Villa played a low block from the 20th minute on. No other team this season has done that.
But
no other team.
They didn't even play a low block. They actually had the audacity to sit there and say, you know what, we're gonna try and play you at Anfield. We're gonna sit there and we're gonna try and outplay you at the back at Anfield. And guess what? It didn't work, and that's another question. And guess what? We got the points. But there was nothing that translates. Nothing from that Aston Villa game translated to the Real Madrid game. Because in the Aston Villa game, we ended up having more possession. We had less possession against Real Madrid, and then we go into City and we're trying to do something completely different. And no one can tell me what we're trying to do. And everyone's looking at this and thinking, "Oh, yeah, this is conducive. This is conducive to a successful team."
I think it's even simpler than that, though, Jerry.
First of all, this is his players. That's sorry, Michael. This is his players. You can't deny that because he's playing them every week. So they can't say it's not his players. This is the players we bought is his players. That's what I want to say because that's bullshit. Last season, what did he do last season, guys? As soon as he gave the likes of Nunes and he gave the likes of Elliott and all them sorts, all those players in the beginning of the season a chance to play in the first team, and then as soon as he realized they wasn't up for it, he banned them all. And then he's stuck with the same 11 that won in the league eventually. This season, he's not doing that. He's still playing the same these new players with some of the players, and it ain't working. He's not changing anything. The guy has got no idea. I'm telling you, this is his players. Because if this is not your players, you don't play them. And he continuously plays that. He took a risk last season by playing the same 11 every week. And what happened? He won the league with that one. He's not even doing that this season. He's not even changing.
I mean, he just does rotate. I mean, again, the City substitutions only further validate the idea that it's just about rotation. I mean, listen, personally, I think I know exactly what he wants to do. We don't have to sit here and go over all that. My only point that I keep leaning on is anyone who has even a molecule, an atom, right? An atom of faith in Arne Slot. Not a single one of them yet has actually articulated with sense and reason and logic, with evidence, why I should be of that mentality. What they tell me is something along the lines of, I hope he will change. I hope these players will get better. I hope we will score more chances. Also, he won me a league. So it's a bunch of hopium and copium with the caveat of,
he did win us a league
last year. Oh, see, and there we go. Immediately.
the first response. Let me just speak because Fozzy is also slot out. So I should have been pre-war.
It's up to the
No, you said it. You said it indirectly.
Big
up to Gregory says, told you weeks ago, deep down, we all know it's over. I hear you, Gregory. And thank you for the first. Big up to all of you as well. 700 people in here. Get me. I let the guys speak. I'm on the other side, so I'll try to articulate my views. Look, here's my thing with Arne Slot. I do believe that winning the league title does give you some leeway. I think it's very fair to have that as being part of it. Like, this is not a thing where it's just like, okay, he won the league and that's it, I'm gonna give up on him. Like, I don't look at Arne Slot and think that this guy's a finished man or he has no ideas or he's like some stupid guy. Like, I think he notices these things that's happened. I can tell you two things that happened literally from last week, which is the Aston Villa game and the Madrid game. Both Aston Villa game and the Madrid game, Slot coached a perfect match. My thing is not based on hope. I've seen it this season. Frankfurt, he coached a perfect match. So for me, I'm looking at Arne Slot and I know he's capable of turning it around. I know Arne Slot is capable of making those tweaks because I actually don't think we're that bad. I'll be honest with you. I legitimately think a couple of tweaks here and there, and Liverpool Football Club will legitimately start to win games of football. We got 9 winnable fixtures coming up. I know you guys might not like this, but we have had a really difficult start to the season. Away at the Etihad, at home to Arsenal. We've had the Merseyside derby. Even
you can't drop another point, though.
We've had to play Atletico and Real. I believe that Slot is 80% to blame. So I'm not exonerating Slot from blame. I do believe that Arne Slot is the reason why this is happening. I agree with you guys, but my conclusion is not Slot out. My conclusion is I believe Slot can turn this around. My conclusion is I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Yeah. Because Real Madrid at home 4 days ago, okay, no hopium, no copium, no feelings. 4 days ago, the guy looked at Real Madrid and put out the perfect team to combat Real Madrid. And I'm sorry, I'm not allowing anyone to change the narrative, because pre that game, people are going like, oh, Real Madrid are the best team in the world. Oh, look, they're top of La Liga. They've won all their Champions League games. So we're not going to sit up here and act like Madrid are some bum-ass club, because before they came to Anfield, people were saying, oh my God, if Liverpool played the same way, Real Madrid are going to win the game by 4 or 5 goals. Okay, we didn't play the same way. We actually abused them on the football pitch. And guess what? If it wasn't for Courtois, that game ends 4 or 5 goals to Liverpool Football Club. That game could have ended 4-0, 5-0 to Liverpool Football Club. So I'm sorry, when I watch that performance and I watch what Arne Slot is capable of tactically, it's not just hope. I was Rodgers out. I was Rodgers out. So I lost belief in the fact that, okay, I don't think Brendan Rodgers can take Liverpool Football Club forward. Therefore, I'm Rodgers out. I understand you guys' position. I'm not saying
this is 1 in 16 though. This is one game in 16.
I'm not saying any of you guys are like, like whatever, like you're not entitled to the opinion, or it's a crazy opinion. I believe it. Okay, Arne Slot currently he deserves criticism and everything, but I'm also entitled to go like, okay, in these last 2 games that I've watched before Manchester City, he did everything that we asked him to do. And me and Mike had this argument on Friday about the Villa game.
Just to that point, right? Just to that point. The Real Madrid game, right, is a game where the fans were not going to allow, right, with the narrative of what's going on with Trent, with how Liverpool have been, the fact that Liverpool can use the underdog status when you can give up possession. Remember, Slot has said that is not his ideas. That is not his belief. He wants to dominate the ball, but we didn't dominate the ball. And guess what? It was a great performance. I'm not taking that away from the team,
of course,
right? But to go and say that we out tactically done like something, it wasn't. We gave the ball up and we went and caught them in transition, and we were better them on the day.
But that's a tactic, though.
No. Every single player, Konate had an outstanding game, which he hasn't all season. Virgil van Dijk was solid. Mamardashvili was good. Robertson was outstanding. Bradley was outstanding. Every game that we have won this season, right? Every single game always comes from, wow, individuals are having top performances where Bradley is locking up Vinicius. To leave Bradley 1v1 against Vinicius is very risky in itself. You saw that what happened against
But he wasn't one-on-one of them, though.
Well, no, he wasn't.
Had help
but
a lot of the time,
but a lot of the time he was. And guess what? He stood up to the challenge. But that is on Bradley. Because a system, coaching football, you do not go and say, yeah, you know what? We're going to leave him 1v1, especially someone like Bradley against a Vinicius. You wouldn't do that with Mbappe. You wouldn't do that. Liverpool played extremely well. To Slot's credit, we said we either sit back or we're going to go and
By the way, even Mike would disagree with you, because he credited Slot for that game.
Yeah, and I'm not crediting Slot for me personally, but that's fine. We can disagree. You go and look at the Aston Villa game, and in the Aston Villa game, he said it was a perfect performance. If Morgan Rogers goes and hits it and goes into the top corner, or Matty Cash then follows up and scores that goal, we're talking about a completely different game.
But you're doing ifs. I haven't done ifs.
No.
We don't even wait, Jerry. We don't even have to do the ifs.
If Virgil van Dijk doesn't foul the Brentford player,
let me finish. I'm saying
if
that
Kirkus
when you looked at the way Aston Villa played, it wasn't. It was very similar to Frankfurt, where Frankfurt, of course, we conceded the goal and then we went and turned up. But Aston Villa went and broke our press down 3-4 times before we were able to go and get the goal and then assert ourselves. That, for me, isn't sustainable. That doesn't look like, the manager coached something. Those are the players. The same way you are going and Tom wants to blame the players for what's going on, you have to then praise the players when they're winning. It can't be both. We can't go and say and be like,
no, but I blame Slot and I praise Slot.
Everybody.
Exactly. But again, these are also only 2 games. These are only 2 games.
Mike, I'm sorry, Mike. Your question can't be name one thing that Slot done without Hopium and Copium and name it, and then you go like, oh, it's only 2 games.
But here's the issue though, is that everyone wants to talk about Villa like it's some sort of masterclass, but then they don't address the simple things. They tried to build out the back on the floor. Terrible idea. Frankfurt tried to do it. They got punished. They didn't play any long balls. They played less long balls than anyone else. And then. Not true. Chelsea packed 6 in the middle of the park. I have the evidence for it. Chelsea did exactly what City did. They put 6 in the middle. They made it impossible. No, they did not. They did not play into our hands. They made it impossible for us to build up through the center of the park. I watched it over and over. 4, 5 guys standing in the middle, boxing Florian Wirtz.
Yeah, that's due to us having an open midfield.
Yeah, because it's terrible tactics. At the end of the day, again, Villa and Real Madrid do not quantify the other 10 games. I'm sorry, the other 10 games in the Premier League and the other 3 games in the Champions League. So,
okay, how about Bournemouth? How about Arsenal this season?
Bournemouth? First of all, Arsenal came to Liverpool to not win that game. Arsenal did not play with.
They came for a draw.
They did not play with.
Not substitution. Jones on.
No.
Game change.
30. I mean, listen. A 35-yard wonder free kick is the reason why that even.
Oh,
happened.
we were so much better than them in the second half.
Outside of that,
now you guys are taking the narrative.
No, Husam. Do you know why? No, this is why I'm not going to have it, because I've watched you on one of your shows talk about how you were criticizing Arsenal, saying how Arsenal didn't go and take the game to Liverpool, and Liverpool were there for the taking. The narrative in that game, in that game wasn't, wow, Liverpool were outstanding in that game and they deserved to win that game. It was what a free kick.
No, but that was my narrative as well. I said the only team that came out in the second half and actually wanted to win that game of football was Liverpool.
Okay, but you also said Bournemouth.
I said that too.
You also said Bournemouth. We sacrificed the 2-0 lead to Bournemouth. We sacrificed the 2-0 lead, a 2-0 lead to Crystal Palace. We sacrificed the 2-0 lead to Newcastle when they had 10 men. We sacrificed the 2-0 lead to Atletico Madrid. Again, just because on the day the individual brilliance of these players are scoring goals does not mean that it is sustainable football. What Slot's system is 100% reliant on is guys taking low percentage opportunities and turning them into goals. If you look at all of our goals this season, I would say the majority of them, not high percentage opportunities. Ryan Gravenberch against Everton, that's not a high percentage shot. Ekitike against Everton, not a high percentage shot. Chiesa
against Everton is not a high percentage shot. Oh my God, man.
Brother,
oh my God, I'm going everyone was right in front of Pickford. What are you talking about?
You're right. Ekitike had to take one touch with the defender to his left with Pickford closing down the angle. Great finish.
Yeah, but you're not going to have a whole penalty box free for yourself.
Guess what? Isak had the same thing, and no one's sitting here blaming him for Manchester United. What else is there? You have Chiesa, the winner versus Bournemouth. Is that a high percentage opportunity?
Yes,
no.
Salah created that opportunity by crossing it into the penalty box. And Chiesa was right to put the goal as well.
A world-class finish.
And we were way better than Bournemouth.
He also had 3 people in front of him. Again, it doesn't change the fact that individual brilliance is the only reason why we have scored anything or created any points. Like, it's that simple. It is that simple.
All right, Husam, I've got a question for you, Husam, right?
Yes.
If you believe that Slot can turn it around because you're looking at those games, why has he not done it on a consistent basis? Why? Because this is... Pardon?
That's literally what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for...
No, but why hasn't he? No, I understand that's what you're waiting for. But to your point, you've called him a tactical genius. We've spoken about the fact that we've been like this. We've now conceded, I think, 17 goals. We've lost more games than Manchester United in 2025, right? So when you look at that and you are saying that, oh, but I believe that he can do this and do that, then why hasn't he? Why hasn't there been a change? Because with every manager,
I cannot answer. I've seen the change against Villa. I've seen the change against Madrid. I've seen the change against Frankfurt. So he's shown me he's capable of the change. I just want him to change more often.
But Frankfurt wasn't really a change.
No, but why doesn't he then? But
I don't think Slot himself can answer that question.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. If Slot can't answer the question of why he cannot go and change, then that is a massive problem.
That's a worry.
I need my manager to know why he's making changes. I need to know why he's like. For me, for anyone to have confidence, if I'm a player, I want to know why my manager's making a change. Why are we changing the game? Like, why are we setting up in this way in the game? But if you're telling me that he's proven he's made the changes, but I don't think he knows why he's made the changes or why he can't make the changes, then who knows? If he doesn't know,
Jerry, you don't even have to overcomplicate it like that. Dude, we lost to Crystal Palace. He got paid $300,000 over 2 weeks to do nothing. We go up against Manchester United. We make 0 changes. Again, we have a giant sample size from game 1 to game 11 of not changing, except one. You can only name one game which he made any sort of change, but you ignore the caveat of that team playing in a low block from the 20th minute on, something that no other team has done against us this season, win, lose, or draw, but we haven't drawn. 6 wins, 5 losses. So again, he's not I mean, this is what I like to resort to. If a random dude in Los Angeles, California, can go on the internet and show people why something isn't working, how is it possible that a guy who gets paid £6 million a year doesn't make any changes over the weeks? If I'm able to sit here and take you through a game and show you what's going wrong, how is an entire staff that's getting paid millions and millions of dollars incapable of implementing a single change? A single change. Slot fooled me, because I thought he would go up against City like he did against Madrid, but he went up against City like he did against Brentford, and he got absolutely fucking eviscerated for it. And the excuses roll on. I think I saw people saying, Liverpool just unlucky. Yeah, unlucky my ass, bro. Blow it out your fucking ass. We're not unlucky. We do this to ourselves. We create the danger to ourselves.
Okay, so let me flip it on you guys then. Let me ask you guys a question. Since you guys believe that Arne Slot is mainly to blame, why are you guys criticizing individuals then? Why do I see Jared James criticizing Salah? Why do I see Mike criticizing Bert? Why do I see Fozzie criticizing Konate?
This is why. Because this is why. If a manager's system is predicated, or the performances are predicated on the individuals having to perform, which of course they have to do to a certain extent. But if you're looking at individual brilliance to save you in a game, right? Then I'm looking at, that's the only thing I can hang my hat on.
That's hypocrisy.
Well, pardon? No, it's not hypocrisy. Because
can I tell you why it's hypocrisy? And then I'll mute my mic. I'll mute my mic. Let me just explain to you why it's hypocritical from my perspective.
All right,
my logic is, I think Arne Slot is to blame. The reason why I'm not Slot out is I believe he can turn it around because he's shown me it this season. Forget last year. Number one. Number two, because I believe that Arne Slot is to blame, I'm not scapegoating any individual. Even when the players I like have good games, I point out to Slot changing the system as to the reason why they performed.
Okay. So
there's one.
I'll explain why it's not hypocritical, right? My issue, and we agree on this, is the manager is mainly to blame for what's going on. Yeah, he's mainly to blame. And I listed why. I've said he can't integrate the new signings, the old players are doing poorly, all of that, right? This is why I'm Slot out. However, when you look at it on a game basis, right? Tomorrow we're playing a match. Slot is not out. So what Slot's system is reliant on, right, are the players, right, being able to go and be at their optimal level. So Salah can conjure up a moment of brilliance, Szoboszlai to conjure up a moment of brilliance, Ekitike, for Konate to be back to his best, for Alisson to pull off ridiculous saves. That is what it seems like to me. So when I look at it and I'm like, okay, you want to play this way. I don't even agree with what you're doing, Slot, but cool, you want to play the way you're doing. Why is Salah on the pitch then? Why is Konate playing when Gomez is there? Why is Chiesa arguably, in terms of goals, probably top 3 forwards, right? Not getting a chance, can't get a sniff at a game. Why was Ekitike being benched and Isak playing, even though Isak wasn't in form? Like, all these things you now go and look at. Why did it take so long for Robbo to get into the team? Why was Kirkus playing all these games?
But now you're naming managerial stuff.
But Jerry, Jerry,
it's managerial. They are managerial stuff. But when we are looking at the actual game, and those are two separate conversations. The overarching issues of Liverpool are to do with the manager. But if we play a match today and tomorrow, I'm going to look at the player, because ultimately, guess what? If Salah goes and plays like he did last season, right? Then we're probably not sitting there. I will still go like I did last year and talk about it and be like, I am not happy with the way Liverpool are playing.
I'm sorry. I have to ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? I want to ask you a question. Yeah. So we agree on this whole, like, Slot is to blame and everything. We just disagree with the conclusion, which is fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, like I said. Here's my thing. So the Salah conversation, let's unpack it. So I'll ask you the question. Instead of blaming Mo, why do we not ask ourselves, why is Slot asking Mo to dribble past players in big 2025?
I've said that. I have said that. But guess what? Salah, it's not about necessarily dribbling past players in 2025. I'm asking him to finish his dinner. I'm asking him to go and just make the right decision. I'm not asking Salah to play the way he did 20 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm asking him to play how he did last year.
If he scored versus Man City, the game was 3-1. We were 3-1.
Oh my God! Wait!
He wouldn't have made a difference.
Wait!
Jerry understands what I'm talking about, by the way. That's why he's getting frustrated.
There's
a good point.
That's not the case.
You know I'm not being emotional, Lorenzo.
No, what you're doing.
Salah should have passed that anyway. Salah should have passed it anyway.
I'm getting
How do I
frustrated.
single out an individual?
You should have passed it.
No.
You should have passed it.
No.
You should have passed it.
Because when I'm looking at an individual, right, and when I'm looking at an individual and I rate an individual and I hold an individual to a certain standard, there's a certain standard I expect of him, irrespective of what else is going on. Irrespective, because we saw it with Gerrard, we've seen it with Suarez, we've seen it with players that no matter what, we've even seen it with Salah at times, where no matter what was going on, right, they're still able, Virgil van Dijk, they're able to go and perform to a certain level. So now, I'm not asking Salah to go and run past 5 players, but guess what I'm expecting Salah to do? Is to make the right decision, to not give the ball away 5 times in the game, right?
Jerry,
so when he's doing that, that then becomes an issue with regards to, all right, the manager's playing you, but there's an issue. If you're going to play the way you are, you need to drop this player then. But then it goes back to the manager, as you spoke about. This is why I'm slot out. That's why I'm not sitting here thinking, yeah, it's the manager's slot.
Can I ask you a question? Okay. You know when we speak about a manager, yeah, we're talking about his qualities, and as Husam is talking about his qualities. Jerry, you're a coach. I was a coach, yeah. You look at a game within like 20 minutes, things are not working out. When do you make the change? Like when you see that your team is struggling on the pitch, a proper manager will make changes the moments, or at certain moments of the game, and say, you know what, this ain't working. Let's chuck this out. Let's probably go deep and just try to defend the game, and then try to hit them on the break or something. I have not seen it from this manager. That's what I keep telling people. There is no way this head coach has the minerals, has the ideas to change games even during the game. So where is this belief coming from that he's going to change anything if he can't even do it? We realized it probably in the first 10 minutes. Majority of you guys realized the game.
He did it last week, though. That's my thing.
He doesn't.
He did it last week.
He doesn't.
We need to circle.
Forget last year. Last week he did it.
He doesn't. Husam, he doesn't, bro. We knew that game was going wrong from the first moments that we saw it, and he didn't make any changes during the game. A top coach makes changes. Mourinho makes changes. Ferguson makes changes. He does not do that, bro. All season he's been doing the same crap.
1 in 11 is not enough. 1 in 11 is not enough. Again, hold on. Back to the conversation about the players just for 2 seconds, because there's a caveat. There's a caveat. I have always, every time I have called out a player, I have made it a point to say beforehand, first and foremost, I believe this player is being put in a position to fail. That being said, they did not execute. What Jerry is basically saying is, with the way you're trying to play, it doesn't benefit Salah. So of course he's going to look like shit. Now, are there points in the game where it doesn't matter how we're playing? Salah just isn't up to it. Yes, but at the same time, what about all the other instances where he could possibly gain confidence that he gets absolutely destroyed? Everyone forgets about the mental aspect, right? People talk about energy. People talk about the lack of intensity. Well, let me ask you something. If your boss told you to do something one way and you knew it was the wrong way, and you're the experienced worker and you know that you should do it the other way, but you're being forced to do it the wrong way, are you going to put energy into it, or are you going to do it with disdain? Are you going to be upset that you have to do it? Will you just do the job? Yeah, exactly. So no shit, we have shit energy, because these players know this system is moronic. It's idiotic. Again, 2 things can be true. Konate can have a bad game.
No, actually,
he can also, he can, yes, 100%. Konate had a bad game, and Konate was put into a position to have a bad game.
Konate against Real Madrid, let's say Slot did what he did against Manchester City against Real Madrid, right? And Konate had to defend Mbappe at halfway line. Okay, so let's all now have an honest conversation. Forget Mo, because everyone gets emotional about that topic. And people, people who didn't rate him anyway. Like, this has been happening for a long time. People who rate him. It is what it is. By the way, the people, if you use standards as the reason why you're cussing him out, then you should cuss out Van Dijk just as much. And you should say Van Dijk is washed, because Van Dijk's been ass for a while now. He's been really
Van Dijk's been crap. He's been crap.
But let's use Konate, actually, because Konate is a player that, you get me, people have criticized and are open to criticism, etc. Manchester City, Real Madrid, 2 different games. Konate against Real Madrid was put in a position where he didn't have to defend Mbappe in spaces because of our setup. Therefore, I used Konate's attributes, meaning his tackling, his physicality, him being in the correct position at the correct time, to my strength. Now, to reverse this, because we're speaking about individuals, right? Let's reverse this. Let's say Madrid at Anfield. Slot is like, fuck this, we're going to do this our way, okay? Konate and Van Dijk are at halfway line against Mbappe and Vinicius. So is Bradley. So is Robertson. Do we end up winning that game 1-0, or do we lose that game by 3 or 4?
We get absolutely torched, and that's on the manager for changing the way that they play.
So now let's take a step back. So I've got 2 games here. One where the manager implemented the style correctly. Forget Mo or Van Dijk or any of the players we love. Konate, okay? So the one game where the manager implements the system that we all wanted, Konate looks fucking unbelievable. The game after that, the manager implements a system that we all don't want, and Konate looks like ass.
You're proving my point.
Which is why, circular point, back to my first point, which is, if I'm going to hold Slot accountable, which I am, and I'm saying it is his fault, and I'm agreeing with that, I cannot therefore go like, okay, Mo is washed, Van Dijk is washed, Konate's head is in Madrid, Conor Bradley is a League One defender, Robertson is finished, McAllister got no legs, Gravenberch this, but like, that's my thing. Like, we call out the manager, yet we call out individuals as well when they're not being put in a position to perform. Jerry points out the chances that he missed. Fair enough. I accept that. He should have scored the goal against Manchester City. Let's assume he scored it. It's 3-1. Nothing
but for me, it's not
anyway.
the goals. But anyway, regarding Salah, it's not about the goals. It's the decision making. It's the decision making. It's the ability to go and be like, I'm going to go and keep the ball. That is something that on the pitch, the manager can't go and tell him to do. It's the fact that we've got 2 wingers that I wanted to be direct. But going back to your point about Konate, right? Because that we can use that. Again, it's easier. The chat will probably understand it a bit better, right? To your point, he set up in a way against Real Madrid that went against his quote-unquote beliefs. We sat back, we gave Madrid the ball and hit them on the counter-attack, right? But guess what? That's not how he wants to play. That is a result. That is a result of how Liverpool are playing right now, where he's like, damn, like we can't get cooked now, because guess what? He was probably fighting for his job in those last 2 games. Let's be honest. He loses those 2 games, we're having a different conversation. Yeah, I mean, on the 11th of November. So let's be honest.
We could be. I'm not even going to deny that.
We could be. But if you look at, if you just look at logically, he sacked off the Carabao Cup, made sure he rested all his players. He knew he had that big week coming up. Again, he went and done what he did, but he didn't play the way he wanted to play, right? So it goes back to the point. If he can't go, if he is struggling, or he's unable or incapable of going and getting the best out of the players, bear in mind, he done that with Salah last season. That was the argument, that he was able to get the best out of Salah, and Salah's doing the same job that he did last year. He's still staying out wide. He's not having to drop back. Last couple games, he's dropping back. But before, he hasn't done, right? You look at it and you're like, well, that's the job of a manager. Because guess what? You could go and get another manager, a manager of another team, and he'll have players that are worse off. But guess what? He's able to go and get the best out of that garbage that he's got. He'll look at it and be like, yeah, I've got this player, that player, but I'm going to make it work. The problem is Slot hasn't got that. Slot has a wealth of riches. So when we go and critique the players, it's right to go and critique the players, because guess what? To a certain extent, they are also the reasons to why this is happening. Because Salah isn't performing the way he did last year, and that's why you gave him a contract. You gave him the contract not to just nice him off and be like, oh, thank you for what you've done. It was more so, this is what you're going to provide us. You gave Van Dijk the contract because you think Van Dijk's going to be of a certain level, and you sign all the players because you think they are of a certain level. If they're not performing to that level, that's where the critique comes in. However, the overarching issue is the fact that it is the manager, hence why we agree on it. That's why I go and ask you, I'm like, why? How can you look at this season, say the issues that you're seeing are 80% Slot, and still think he can just turn it around when it's, let's say, 2 games out of 11? Like that, like logically, that just doesn't make any sense, because how long do you wait it for? Is it 12? Is it 12? Is it 2 games out of 12? 2 games out of 13, 14? How long do you go until you're like, you know what? He's struggling to get it, because at the same time that all this is happening, we're seeing Virgil van Dijk look worse. Gravenberch is starting to look worse. You're looking,
but do you acknowledge that people don't show Van Dijk the same energy they show Mo? Be honest about it.
No, I agree. I think Van Dijk's been pants. That's why the first thing I said when I came on, and people can check the tapes, I said Van Dijk has been shit, and that's my favourite player. He's been crap. But this is a point. Van Dijk's been terrible. But guess what? Van Dijk at the beginning of the season, he was making the most clearances, most headers, most scoring winners, still popping up with goals, even though he's been terrible. So when I look at that and I'm like, now even your best players are performing shit, where do I turn to now? Where do I look for hope? Your players from last season that won you the league are performing shit. The new players aren't stepping up and they're performing shit. Your tactics are shit. Your changes are shit. The subs that are doing well can't get a sniff of a game. So when you look at it, it's like, if I'm Chiesa sitting there, what am I looking at this team and thinking, yeah, you know what, I've got an opportunity to play. I'm looking at players play shit on the pitch, and I know I'm still not going to get a game. When Liverpool's winning, it's easy to be on the bench because you can look at it and be like, that's Salah on the pitch, though. How am I going to... Salah, I'm not as good as Salah. But you're looking at it thinking, the performances I've had this season have been better than Salah's, but I still can't get a game. That's insane. So when we critique the players, it's from that perspective. No one's going and saying Salah's garbage or Salah's the worst player to ever play for Liverpool.
People are saying
or Virgil van Dijk's... No. He's garbage now, yes. But I'm saying no one's saying that Salah, what he's done is cemented. There's nothing you can do about it. He's arguably Liverpool's best ever player if you want to put him in that category. He's up there. If someone says it, no one can argue it. But ultimately, right now, on the 11th of November, he's performing badly. Same way Van Dijk is performing badly. Same way Konate was performing badly. Same way. And guess what? These players, the players that we had on the pitch, when we spoke about this is his squad, he's going to trust his squad now. We wanted to keep Gomez. We didn't want to let him go. They can't get a sniff. Frimpong can't get a game. Soboslai's played right back more than Bradley and Frimpong. That it doesn't make any sense.
All those are managerial issues I agree with, which is why I actually... You want to know something, this goes down to... I actually really like all these players. I do not dislike or think any of these players, including Mamardashvili, including Conor Bradley. Forget the ones that have won us stuff in the past or whatever. I don't think, I don't dislike any of them. Even Soboslai's won me back this season. You get me? I was maybe one of the people who criticized Soboslai. But this season, I'm like, yo, this guy has long hair now and he's moving like Andrea out there on the pitch. So you get me? So I really like all these players. And I do not believe that any of them are finished or washed or done or shit or crap. I just think they're all being put in a position where they just can't succeed. Just before we carry on this conversation, because I think it's very interesting, let me just grab a couple of these super chats. Also, guys, we got almost 900 people locked in. Thank you guys so much. There's so much content coming you guys' way. I promise you. I got you guys for this international break. I know you guys are bored as shit. We're going to keep entertaining you. We can't have 900 people in here. We're not even at 300 likes yet. Please close the live chat, hit the like button, continue to enjoy the show. Go subscribe to LFC Red Forever channel. That's Fozzie's channel. Go subscribe to Mike Das LFC and go subscribe to the Jerry James Show. All the links are in the description. Big up to Matty German, who says, when has bringing 5 to 6 players into starting 11 ever worked? The problem with internet threads is they want instant success. Patience is a virtue. Let me just say one thing, because I actually want to respond to this. I'm an internet thread because I'm not from Liverpool and I'm Scotland. Number one. Number two, I think players coming out here and when you sit up here and say oh, we brought in too many players. Brother, respectfully, Sunderland brought in a lot of players. They're above us. Bournemouth brought in a lot of players. They were above us for long parts this season. I think this whole bringing in players stuff is just
it's such a weak cop out, bro. Wake up, dude. Not a single. You can't sit there and name a single new issue that did not exist last season. And if you can, well, then you didn't watch last year. So you're wrong in both ways. But big up.
Slot's forcing his style of play and refuses tactics that work, and he'll not gonna change because club hierarchy believe in him 1000%. Here's the thing, though. I will push back on that a little bit. When we say the club hierarchy believe in him 100%, there were contract talks, and then the contract talks stopped. So even from a club perspective, they're like, oh shit, let's wait. How are we gonna come out of this this little run right here? So I don't think it's guaranteed that. By the way, people keep saying guys, Liverpool are a football club historically that give every manager a chance.
Yep.
We all accept this. We all acknowledge this. We're not Chelsea. We understand that. We don't have a managerial merry-go-round. With all due respect, if Liverpool comes out the international break, loses 3 games in a row in all comps, and suddenly we're sat here with 6 wins, fucking 12 losses, no one's going to sit up here and go yeah, the club shouldn't sack Slot and should give him to the end of the season. Of course, we're all objective here. We understand. Even from a club perspective, because guess what? After all this money spent, Liverpool need Champions League football. And we can't be 13th,
hold on,
on game week 15. You get me? That will cause an immediate change. So
people need to wake up really quick. If you haven't heard yet, I'm going to educate you. I'm going to educate you real quick. Liverpool, from here on out, a draw is a loss of 3 points. A draw is equal to a loss. You have lost 5 games in 11. You cannot drop another point for the next 20 games. That is just the fact of the matter. You cannot drop points. Every time you drop points, it is 3 points lost. There is no 1 point gained. There is nothing. It is a win or it is death. It's that simple. You put yourself here, Arnie. You put yourself here.
He's actually right, because we can't draw at home to Forest.
No, it isn't even about that, bro. We've lost 5 games.
Unless we have like
games.
fucking 5 XG and you know Forest score 1.
No. There is no more context. I don't care if you have 150 shots on goal in 90 minutes and you don't score. Guess what, buddy? You don't have an excuse. There are none. It is win or it is death. It is that simple.
Damn. Anyway, Lotterman gonna get locked up in the bald head penitentiary soon, inshallah. Inshallah, bro. We need to get the wins out there. We need to get some wins out there, because it's becoming real dark, habibi. You get me? It's in a position I'm defending this right now, but I don't know how long I will be until I do.
Are you truthful?
That's okay.
No, but everyone has a cutoff point. Come on, I'm not like I'm slotting, but I'm not like delusional. I'm not gonna sit up here and go like, oh, he has the rest of the season. Yalla, lose the next 30 games. No, of course not.
Okay.
Mike, I like the look. Ray Charles, I need that right now. Is what fun.
Listen, at first, listen. I'm gonna be honest. At first, it started as a gimmick. I said these are to block out all the positive pussies. But I've come to love the fact that no one knows where my eyes are going. So I have an element of advantage over you. You don't know where my eyes are. You don't know what I'm looking at. You don't know what I'm seeing. It's nice. It's nice. I like it.
Fairs. Big up to all of you guys in the chat. A Fonzie compliment is actually quite rare. So yeah, big up to all of you guys in the chat. Like I said, 800 people locked in. Make sure you guys are like and subscribe and do check out our sponsors. Okay, Jersey, use code Husam for 8% off. Big up to everyone who's actually used the code. So yeah, shout out to all of you. So Fonzie.
Yes, sir.
I need positive energy.
There's no positive coming from me, mate.
What the fuck? Fonzie has just stabbed me in the back this whole stream. Fonzie, you're supposed to be the positive guy, bro, with me, bro. You're supposed to be the positive guy. Where is top red Fonzie? Bring him out.
Have you seen what I wrote on Twitter, bro?
Bring him out, man.
This manager has done me in, bro. He's done me in, man.
By the way, I love the people in the chat going like, Husam sold out. Tell me to who? Where is the money? Tell me to who. I mean,
this guy done me
Slots
in,
paying him. Slots paying him.
I wish. Bro, pay me, Arnie. I'll defend your bald ass.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying is.
Let me ask you guys a different question, since you guys are
300 grand. 300 grand.
You get rid of Arnie slot. Who do you bring in?
Anyone with a pulse who's not Dutch.
Anyone that can manage the team. You know, what I mean, that has tactics. That has, you know,
guys, can
a winning mentality.
Team answers. Can we actually have realistic answers?
I'm not gonna lie. I've got. For me, I've got about 4 or 5 managers.
Tell me, let's talk about.
Are they winners though, Jerry? I don't want to like, you know.
No. But do you know what it is? But do you know what it is? I get it, and we're talking about winners. In my opinion, the season's done. Like it's done. It's over. Like the idea that
we can't even win UCL. We can win UCL.
No, I don't. No. Because you're gonna come up against the team. You're gonna if it carries on with the way it is now, you're gonna come up against a team that ultimately are going to go, and they're going to go and just realize, this is Liverpool's weakness. Oh, okay. Like, remember, this is the beginning bit. PSG were crap at the beginning of the Champions League last season. Arsenal were losing games as well, and they're 2 teams that got there, like got close to the end.
Don't forget Dembele was injured. Don't forget Dembele was injured.
Like I'm saying, for me, like it's done. Like I'm not looking at anything now and thinking, yeah, Liverpool. If we do, it'll be like, oh my god, it will be obviously very, very surprising, right? And obviously anything can happen in football. But is it probable? No. Possible? Yes. But I look at it. Get me a manager that can instill an identity into the team, right? And the team plays in his image, where I can look at it and be like, you know what? That's what Liverpool are trying to go and do. I get it. Irrespective of now whether it works or not, because guess what? If it doesn't, it's not working now anyway. So Iraola's one. We can go Glasner's another one. You can go De Zerbi's another one. There's so many managers. Like there's so many managers.
Zinedine Zidane.
Glasner is a disaster for me.
Huh?
Zidane.
No.
Look at Zidane.
Who?
I
Look at
actually think
Zidane.
Glasner is the disaster. I don't want Glasner.
No,
at
no,
all.
Liverpool,
maybe
made the
so. I'm not
GDP
even
of the
saying that's my
country to
choice.
Zidane.
I'm not even saying it's my
So
choice.
you guys
but
are in
what
a
I'm
position
saying,
where you're just saying anyone?
no, one that can instill a style of play, right? One that can go and identify.
Iraola is quite stubborn, though. He played high line away at City.
No, but guess what? He played high line against City, and that's fine. But he has a principles and beliefs that he believes in. That Slot right now doesn't. Slot, because if he believed in his
But Jerry,
principles,
it's not
to your
just
point,
about
he would have.
tactics. Jerry, it's not about.
Hold on.
No, it's not the tactics.
All
It's
right.
not the
I want a
tactics.
winner.
It's an idea.
I don't want
No. I get it. I get it. No, I get it. But for me, it's not. For me, it's not about tactics, right? It's to your point when you said, "Oh, you don't think the players are even buying into what's going on." The first thing you need to do when you come into a club is they need to buy into you, right? They need to buy into not only you as a person, but the way you go and see football. Right? If they don't buy into you, that's when you go and start having what's going on with Amorim, what you've had with Moyes, where players are like, yeah, you see when Moyes went and we had that meeting, he said, yeah, we need to set up to counter what this team's doing. We knew he's finished. We knew we're not going to believe him. All that stuff makes, I mean, you're dealing with top egos in this team. This is a top Liverpool team, by the way. It's the best Liverpool team I've seen in terms of a squad, right? Stacked.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking at it.
I'm going to get rattled.
Bro.
I'm getting rattled. Jax, I appreciate you. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for helping.
No, it's all right, mate. It's all right.
Inzaghi is fucking shit.
He's rubbish, man.
Simeone Inzaghi. Let me tell you something about Serie A. I'm not a Serie A expert. I'm not. But I watch it every now and then. Okay? Simeone Inzaghi had the Manchester City squad of the Serie A and lost league titles to fucking Pioli and Spalletti. Okay? Do you remember Pep from 4 years ago when he had two teams? That's Inzaghi in Italy, and he ended up with one league title. Simeone Inzaghi 6 months ago did the Leverkusen from 30 years ago. He lost the cup final and the Champions League and the Serie A. I would rather legitimately, you can say I'm exaggerating all you want. I would rather go with Iraola over Inzaghi. I would rather go with Glasner over Inzaghi. I'd rather go with Cesc Fabregas over Inzaghi. Inzaghi's fucking shit. And he bottles it in the big moments, and he's a bad man manager. Go ask Footy Judge Mo, and he'll tell you himself. And I saw this with my very own eyes. Inzaghi is a horrendous idea, in my opinion. The worst suggestion so far. Worst suggestion. People have this cloud that they think Inzaghi is this good manager. Guys, with the best squad in Italy for 4 years, he left with one league title. He lost a league title to Pioli, who was sacked in Al-Nassr. He lost a league title to Spalletti, who was sacked in the Saudi League. He's not good at all. I don't want Inzaghi at all, bro. I'm sorry.
Big up Archie. I do think I would do a better job, but big up to Archie. He said
you asked me like for sorry,
Mike, you would use the dressing room after calling them pussies at the halftime.
Really? That's called excellence. That's called demanding excellence. You can't handle the heat, then you're not made for the heat. Pressure makes diamonds. If you can't handle someone calling you a bitch, you probably shouldn't be in sports. Kobe energy. Job's not finished. At the end of the day, this manager is okay. This is my stance. It's very simple. I need uncertainty in my life. Right now, I have certainty. I know that Arne Slot won't change. I know what the result will be. I know that even if I win,
but it's gonna be there, Mike.
It's just as meaningless because I know I'm gonna get the same thing next week, and it might not fall the same way. So to me, right now, in my position, I'm thinking. At the end of the day, the metaphor I like to use. When there's a forest fire and the whole forest burns down, it's at that point where the forest can grow the fastest because all the nutrients are on the ground, right? And immediately it sprouts back up. We're at the state where we need to have that forest fire. We need to burn it all down in order to grow. Right now, you're in the Champions League, right? You can still win the Champions League. You can still, well, just listen to me. Just track me. All right. You can still win the Champions League because it's its own format. We're in 8th. All you have to do is finish in the top, 24, I think it is, or like top 28. And then you get a chance to play into the round of 16. So that's not dead, but the league, Habibi, it's over. It's dusted. Arsenal ain't like it's City and Arsenal. And if it turns into us, it's because they turn into shit. I can't drop another point the rest of the season. Don't let me be so fucking ignorant and arrogant to think that we can go on a 20-game win streak in the league. So right now, we have to burn it down.
Callum won.
We have to burn it down. And what Jerry is right. again, guys, this is the staff. This is not the team. The players can stay. It's the guys who are leading the players, the staff, they need to all go, because we need at least someone who will instill any modicum of a style of play that will allow these players to perform. And then you go from there.
Yeah.
And then you go from there. And also to all these people saying, listen, Fozzie, you want a winner. Arne Slot wasn't a winner. He won a cup in Holland. Congratulations.
To be fair.
Okay, congratulations. It's the Dutch.
He won the league with Feyenoord.
It's
what are we doing
the
here?
Dutch. It's the Dutch. Really. Are we doing Eredivisie prop in here?
Yes, but he won it with Feyenoord, not with Ajax.
Okay, congratulations, Feyenoord.
Don't
Big up to Feyenoord.
Alkmaar.
Yeah.
Big up to Feyenoord. But listen. Like personally, if I'm Liverpool Football Club, just go put 15 million. Just go put 15 million pounds in front of Zinedine Zidane. Hey, you won 3 straight Champions Leagues. Come on, you're bald, you're tough, you're ruthless, and you headbutted someone.
You, yeah.
Wait, no, hold on, Fozzie. And you headbutted a motherfucker in the final of a World Cup. That's the energy I need. You headbutted a man for chatting shit to your mom in the World Cup final in front of 1 billion people. I need that guy.
Yeah.
I need him. That's the energy I want. Arne Slot right now, he's a monotone pussy. Every week it's the same shit. Did you guys notice after the game he goes, first piece, first goal, not a big chance, quality. And he said it 4 times. He's like quality. And then the second goal he goes, and then second goal, set piece. And he does it so serious. He's like, he loves to make an excuse. He's 40 minutes of a fucking excuse, and then it ends with, but it's not an excuse. So I know that I just dressed up all of this as an excuse, but because I say it's not an excuse, it's not a fucking excuse. He's the king of pissing down your neck and telling you it's raining. He is a gaslighter. He is an asshole, and I don't want him at this club. Anyone will be better. Anyone with a fucking pulse who isn't Dutch or named Ange Postecoglou, you will be more successful. I promise.
Do what's hilarious about all this is that I know that Husam watches the press conferences of Slot.
He does, man.
He pauses it and goes and leans back in the chair and just clicks the cross at the top of the thing and just says, "I need to." You want to know what's
Jerry? You want to know what's even funnier?
Jerry, the funny part is I don't even watch any of his press conferences.
Yeah, you're lucky then,
dude. The funniest part of all of it is that after the game, I saw tons of fans and tons of people on YouTube going at individuals, right? But the funny thing is that the manager sat there and said exactly what I said for 5 weeks. He said City made it difficult because they put 6 in the middle. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, do you need a mustached American from LA to tell you that 6 weeks ago that all it takes is to put 6 in the middle and you guys play U-ball? I thought we already reviewed vagina ball. I thought we already discussed the fact that there's a giant gaping black hole in the middle and you disregard the midfield. Guys, it was like taking candy away from a baby. City didn't even have to show up. Jeremy Doku didn't cook. We just let him get the whole switch, and Bradley had no help. Against Madrid, Bradley had Gravenberch, Salah, and Konate within 5 yards of him. So it was like a 1v4, and Madrid played like ass. So I'm not going to do this. He's a bum. He is a bum, and he's a gaslighter, and his press conferences drive him further into the ground. 6 feet under, make it 60.
Let me give you some hope, you know. He asked, like,
give yourself hope.
I'm done. Listen, I'll take that. You know what I mean? I'm going to...
Just muted your own mic. See? There you go. You muted your own mic, Fozzie. We can't hear you. There you are. Give me James Alcott at this point.
Okay.
Wow. Fonzie fucking Okay, go ahead, Fozzie. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the only hope I can give you, Husam, like you asked for, is what he needs to do when he comes back is rip up that team. If he changes tactics, if he changes players and goes with it, like, you know, the certain players that's not performing and he turns it into a team that's hard to beat and has something about him. When he's got a break now, he's got 2 weeks break, so he could set all that up. That's the only hope I could give him at the moment. And as soon as he gets back, things have changed, players have changed.
Fozzie,
I think one second, Jerry. You know, players that you know that we don't normally see. I see on the pitch in the next games. Then I'll say there could be something there if the performance change and, you know, there's tactics in obviously on the pitch. Yeah. That's the only.
But didn't you hear the news, Fozzie? Though he's booked a flight to Dubai.
No, fuck that. There's no way.
No, I think that's absolute.
That's someone making it up.
Hey, listen.
I'm joking. I'm
just want everyone to know.
That's the only hope I can give you, bro. That's the only hope I can give.
Jerry, he could afford to.
He's not loyal to players because
he done it last year. He done it last year when he should.
Does anyone want to know how much money he's going to make over these 2 weeks? Because I am a Jew, so I am a pocket watcher, and I will tell you, £300,000. This man got paid £300,000 from Crystal Palace to United to do absolutely nothing. Guess what? You're about to pay him another 300 to do nothing from City to Forest. And what does that equal? What does that equal? It equals £600,000 for 11 points behind Arsenal. Big up.
Yeah,
big up.
Husam, do you think he's capable of doing that, bro? Like changing things, like taking a lot of players out that's not performing, and exchanging players, doing a different tactics and all that stuff. Since you're saying like he's more than capable of doing.
Yeah, I think he can. I don't think it's impossible for him to change the way that he plays because he's done it already. He's shown me the
what about the personnel?
1 in 16. Husam, you were basing it on 1 in 16. You're basically saying
it's 1 in 16 for you. It's not 1 in 16 for me though.
How is there a difference?
It's 1 in 16 according to Mike, not according to me.
No, it's 1 in 16 according to fact.
How?
Because we've only played differently in one game. Real Madrid.
I disagree. I don't think the Arsenal game was like the Newcastle game, was like the Bournemouth game, was like the Burnley game. I don't think they're all similar.
We did not change our style of play against Villa. We didn't change it against Palace any of the 3 times.
Changed against Villa. See, I told you.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Yes. No, we didn't. Because really? Because Villa sat back in a low block, which gave our midfield space, which made us look better. They tried to pass out the back, which no other team was doing. They played 30 less long balls than anyone who had beaten us this season did. They did nothing that anyone who beat us did. Manchester City, also, we can dispel that whole long ball myth because they only played 32. They played less than half of the long balls that United did, that Crystal Palace did. So you can't say that, Arnie. Your little fucking crutch that you've been leaning on. The long balls kill us, the long balls. The long balls. Yeah, can't do it anymore. Can't do it because they didn't go long. Right? But what can he do? He can go back to the whole set piece. Second goal, set piece. Like, this guy's a dickhead, bro. This guy's a dickhead. He's done nothing to change. He has changed nothing.
I'm just giving him hope, mate. Like, that's the only way you could do it if he changes things and changes personnel on the pitch as well. Don't be too reliant on players that always let you down. If you could do that, then we've got a bit of hope. But I can't see it, man. This guy.
My favorite narrative is that this club. I love this. I love this tweet that I keep seeing. The club is annoyed that they didn't sign Mark Gahey. I'm like, great. Jesus is annoyed he was crucified. Like, what does that even mean? It is so ridiculous. It is such a ridiculous statement because it doesn't solve anything. Mark Gahey into this club doesn't solve anything. It doesn't solve anything. Do you genuinely believe? Do you genuinely believe that there's a center back on the planet that can bypass 6 midfielders? If you do, Habibi, you're watching the wrong sport. Go watch basketball. Go watch baseball.
Like I say, and I said it. And
you saying that is crazy.
It's great. What
do you mean?
The thing is the one
I conquer
because that's what they insult you with.
I'm American.
But the thing is, that's the one thing. The one thing, and I go back and I try to figure out when did I go slot out? Right? When was it the final nail in the coffin? And for me, right, he looked at the time. You could argue it was bold. He changed it for the Frankfurt game to Husam's game. He changed it, right? Wirtz was on the right. We were playing 2 up top.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, what the hell's here? We won the game. The next game was to see if he's got the balls to be a Liverpool manager. Whether he's going to go and do this same thing again, the backbone, right? The backbone. The same thing that we saw. I've seen Brendan Rodgers do that. I've seen Brendan Rodgers when we were playing 4-3-3, and for whatever reason, he had to go and play the 4-2-2 diamond, right? 4-4-2 diamond, and then just ran with it. We say the same thing with Konate. When he done that, he was playing his formation. No, we went to a back 3 and run it. That was the time when I was like, let's see if he's going to go and carry on and play the way he wanted to do. And he just resorted back to type. And if he can't manage the egos, it's just another reason for me why I can't respect the guy.
He pretends he's got a backbone, Jerry. Like I said on Twitter, he pretends, bro. Like, takes off Salah, and then he brings him back in the Premier League game, like magically. Come on, bro. Like,
this guy has no balls. He has no balls. He has as much estrogen. He has as much estrogen as my mother, and my mother is 60. That is the level of testosterone in this man's body. He is flaccid. He is flappy. He is the definition of a pussy. He refuses to implement anything because he cannot sacrifice his ego because he is arrogant. He has not changed a single thing. Guys,
No,
my energy,
you know what, Mike?
my energy would be different.
I wish I was as brave as you, Mike. I wish, bro.
I don't give a fuck. What are you going to do? I live 3,000 miles away from all these people. 6,000 miles, actually.
Mike, the thing is, it's two things, right? It's two things, chat. It's either that, and it's what Mike says, and he's just got no balls, and he's flaccid, and he's just no testosterone, and he's just poor. Or he's just a pussy, and he's scared to make the decisions because he's scared to upset.
Oh, he got you joining in as well, Jerry. Nice.
No, he is. He's got.
I can only judge you on your actions.
I can only judge you on your actions. Call him a pussy anywhere up until today.
No, I haven't. I tried to be respectful, but it was like you're a waste man. He's a waste man. That's it. It's just I can't like.
It's hard to watch.
No, you're either arrogant. You're either so arrogant, and you're so arrogant with how you believe football should be, and you're so arrogant with just your being that you're not going to make changes, which is a problem. Or you're scared to make the changes because you're scared of upsetting the player. You're scared of dropping Konate when he's poor because Konate might leave in the summer. Or you're scared of dropping Salah because he's not bad. Or you're scared of not playing Wirtz because you just signed him for 120 million. Or you're scared of not playing Isak because you just signed him for a world record fee as well. It's like he's scared. That's what it looks like to me. And that when he didn't go and play the same team and say, you know what, you guys done it for me. That's how you build trust in a squad. They just won you the game 5-1. You play that team again.
So I want to ask you guys one question, because I can understand how people might think I'm being disrespectful. And to those people, I say, welcome to New York. But to me, if you have a best friend, right? Let's just follow this metaphor and give me a yes or a no. Or tell me which way you would do it. You have a best friend, someone you've known your whole life, right? Great guy, a part of your life. And he's going down a bad path. And you see that he's going down a bad path. Which option do you pick? Do you go A? Do you love him? Do you say, hey, buddy, listen, you're doing a great job. I love you, big guy, blah, 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 blee, blee, blee. Or do you grab him by the collar of his neck and you say, listen up, fuckhead, get your shit together? Which one do you do? Which one do you do? Which one do you do? If it's option number A, I got bad news for you. He ain't going anywhere, right? Positivity doesn't lead to change when it comes to sports. I need a toxic manager. You think Pep Guardiola, after a game, even after a win, walks into the locker room and says, hey, big guys, way to go. Way to go, everybody. Good job. A+ for effort. No, he's a fucking menace. He's obsessed. He is a freak. He is a dictator. That's what I need. That's what I need. And I don't think Arne Slot's that kind of guy. At the end of the day, I don't think he is. I don't think he has that bone in his body. You can go watch the whole documentary. I highly suggest you guys do. They did like the whole inside Manchester City. And you could see how Pep would react after games. Even games that they won, he would be diabolical. Well, it's that kind of obsession that leads to 4 straight Premier Leagues.
Moment for him. This is the perfect moment for him. He's got international break. Let's see if he's got a backbone after the international break.
I mean, listen, that's like saying, is the rapture going to come? Is the rapture going to come? Like, is it the end of days? Is it the end of days? Probably not. Probably not. Listen, Nostradamus got it wrong in 2012. He's going to get it wrong again. It's that simple.
Like, Mike has fucking given up already, honestly. Like, he's
given up.
He was a killer guy.
I sat here for an hour.
Crazy.
You and Lex yelled at me for an hour for being too negative. You guys yelled at me for an hour for being too negative after Southampton. You yelled at me for an hour for being too negative, and then 48 hours later,
at you? That's such a complete lie.
We got our shit slapped. 2 days later, we got our shit slapped against Crystal Palace. So no, of course, my faith has been gone since Southampton, and we won that game.
Look, I have belief that the guy can turn it around. It's as simple as that. I hope that he can. I pray that he can. And
all right, we need to get it for the chat. That's fine. Now I know the grief, because I know what's happened, and this is what happens with the grief. You can get it back, right? When you're going through a breakup, you go through the stage where you're like, actually, we might be able to get it over the line. And
I never
did that. I'm not saying you did that. But that's how you feel, because you were like, listen,
I was the one that ended.
I'm not going to lie. This when we said it, and you were like, if after Aston Villa and Real Madrid, if we lose those games as well, I know the stream would have.
Yeah, but we beat them both.
But we did. So that's my point. We went up again. You got the hope. And the City game brought you down to reality because you realised, and that's why, listen, you're sitting there, Husam, and listen, I've streamed Husam for a while now, right? For years. And
3 years.
Can see when he's 3 years. And when I see Husam's face, he's such an intelligent and logical man, right?
Course, man.
That he starts
Jerry,
to go.
Jerry, I'm going to do something better for you.
And he's reasoning in his head. And he's reasoning in his head, and he's going like, all right, when I'm waiting for this feeling, but logically I know it's the right thing to do. But because of what he's done, and because, again, I'm loyal, I'm going to go and give him the benefit of the doubt. But watch this, people. By the end of this year, Husam will be slot out. It might be it won't be today. It might not be tomorrow. But by the end of 2025, Husam will have a slot out video. And I'll be in first in the comments.
What if we win all the games in December?
What if I grow wings and I fly? Husam, I'm going to give the chat a little story.
It's not the same
very
thing.
Quickly. Yes,
we're way more likely to beat Forest than you flying. Dumbass.
Fat chance. Listen,
fat chance that we beat them over you flying. Have some shame.
Listen, I can fly whenever I want. when I first found Husam was at I think it was 1.5K, and it was right after the Champions League final. And I saw this guy, and I saw how negative and honest he was being. And I was a hater at the beginning. I commented. I was like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? This asshole talking about this club this way. But then I listened to him over the summer, and I was like, hey, you know what? He's starting to turn around here. But now the script has been flipped. The script has been completely flipped. Husam is thinking that we're all being negative and that we're the ones who are all crazy.
But the problem is, Mike.
But soon
I know, because I blame Slot for it too. But
exactly.
I'm not Slot out for logical reasons. I believe he can turn it around. And I look at the manager market, it's ass as well. I can't trust these guys' future in the hands of Areola and Glasner and shit.
I get it. But do you know what it is with Husam? And this is what it is. When you've been wrong so many times, and the biggest point was when Slot got announced, and he's like, "I'm on his slot before on his slot's in," right?
Yeah, but that was an emotional reaction. I said I'm slotting.
No, it was. I know it was an emotional reaction, right? But I'm saying once you've opened up emotionally, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm wrong." Now you're scared to go. You're tentative to go back into the waters. So now he's rationalizing it. He said that, "Am I being overly emotional?"
No, I'm not. I'm actually not. You know, I'm very opinionated. I don't care what people think. Listen, when I literally last week I got called out, I went and I addressed it. I'm the last person to have a problem being opinionated. I'm very opinionated on a lot of things. I've publicly said I think Paul Scholes is the most overrated midfielder of all time. I said Paul Scholes is the most overrated Premier League player in Premier League history. I said if Man United had Mikel Arteta in their midfield for 20 years, they'd had 13 league titles. I'm very opinionated when it comes to Liverpool and football debates. But I just don't logically think there is a reason to sack him right now. That's all.
All right. So when would you sack him? When Champions League is dead and buried? When do you? No. I'm trying to find out. Is it when?
What is your cutoff?
It's not possible.
What is your cutoff? What's your cutoff? Is it 20 points behind in December?
Logically, when
my
you look at it, do you look at
is after the international break, we have a winnable run of fixtures. Let me give you my perspective on this. Mike says it's win or death right now. I don't think it's win or death. I think it's performance or death. Because if we improve our performances, we'll eventually get to winning and we'll keep winning. My issue with Liverpool has been all season performances. So, Nottingham Forest. Let's say the game ends a 1-1 draw. But Liverpool have 5 XG and we have 18 shots on target and we absolutely pepper their net. I know I'm exaggerating, but it's just an example. And we pepper their net. But Forest score a goal on a counter-attack and we end up drawing the game 1-1. I'm not losing my shit. However, if that game happens and we lose 1-0 and we're playing the same exact style and our donut hole gets abused again, I'm gonna move over a little bit. I'm not going to be slot out. guys, the problem is I've explained this. Like, my thing is just a feeling, bro. Like, if I feel like he can't take us forward anymore, I'll say it. I just don't feel that way right now because he
what
showed
would give you that feeling? But what would give you that feeling?
Facts
No, because
over
what would
feelings.
give you that feeling? No, the
I
reason why
don't know
I
what
asked,
would
right,
give me that feeling.
no, because that's what it.
I don't know. You're asking me like, what can give me a feeling? I don't know what can give me that feeling.
But this is why I asked, because listen, again, that feeling could come in 20 games time. It could come whenever. But what you're saying, based on your point, is still true. He proved to you that in 2 games he changed it. So even if we lose the next 10 games, he still proved to you that he can change it. So logically, from your lens, right, if I look at it, then you're always going to believe in him because he's proved to you that he can change it.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be in January.
So
we could lose every game until January, and you'd still believe he can change
3 days ago. That's why when you say it's like logically, I'm afraid of getting back to the waters. I'm not afraid to get into any waters. I've said, bro, like I wanted Rodgers gone. I wanted Mane sold. I've said so many opinionated things before. I said Firmino's washed. I said Robertson's washed. Back in the time when it wasn't fashionable to say it, people say Robertson's washed now. I've been saying it for 3 years. So like,
that's true. You have.
Like I'm very opinionated, but I just look at the situation and I go like,
he's not very washed right now.
And every time Slot just does like 2-3 tweaks, we end up winning games of football and everyone looks great. So I'm not willing to say Slot out yet because I'm not at that stage. I think the guy can just fix it. He can fix it himself. I don't need to change the manager to fix it because I believe he can fix it. That's it. And all this like, how many losses we've had since January. Habibi, we won the league. After we won the league, no one gives a fuck. Honestly.
That's where
here come fucking.
That's where you lose me. That's where you fucking lose me. No. It's not Kobe Bryant from Wish. How dare you? How dare you say Kobe Bryant from Wish? I'm sorry for demanding excellence. I would call into Enz's show all the time after games. I'd say, listen, I know that we won 2-1. We can't deal with the press. We can't cope. They miss chances, right? And people would say, hey, Mike, shut the fuck up. We're top of the league. Be happy. Be happy. Be happy. Well, guess what? What does that turn into? 10 months later, we're all fucked. So yes, every performance matters. Every loss matters. You bet your ass I'm angry about 1-0 away to Spurs. You bet your ass I'm angry about losing to
but
in that
you
Carabao
say
Cup
job
final.
Not finished? So when we won the Premier League, was the job not finished then by definition?
You still have every single game after that point. You think that doesn't affect
the team? He knows
team?
I got it there.
You think that doesn't affect the team? The
job's finished.
The job, really, the job finishes. The job finishes when the final whistle blows at game week 38. Unless you're in the Champions League final, then the job finishes a week later.
You know when you say job finished. No. You're announced Premier League champion.
You know what, Husam? In American sports, it works a little bit differently.
There's no playoffs in the Premier League.
Yeah, no, I know, but let me go with the logic. It works a little bit differently because we have playoffs, right? But at a certain point, your team clinches, right? So let's say there's 10 games left, but I've clinched a playoff berth. Does my team sit there and just say for the next 10 games, we don't give a fuck?
Actually, coaches do rest a lot of players for the next 5, 6, 7 games, and then they bring them back in the last 2-3 games before playoffs just to get their fitness up. That's it.
Okay, and then what most often happens?
Remember the year where the Warriors lost the 3-1 thingy? Steph was playing like 30 minutes in some of the games, 20 minutes in some of the games.
He was still playing, and the team was still trying.
Stop it.
At the end of the day, more often than not, when teams do that in America, they don't end up being the team that wins the title. The team that wins the title is the team that got hot at the end of the season, played their way in, played their ass off through the playoffs, and made it. That's generally the way that it works, except maybe the NFL. But that's because the NFL is a little bit different. It's much more physically demanding.
Kobe said job's not finished because he hasn't lifted the title yet. By definition, when we're announced Liverpool are Premier League champions, by definition, job's finished then. So I legitimately do not give a fuck about the games after because we won.
Do you know why? But do you know why I disagree with that mentality?
And by the way, we had no records to chase. We had nothing left on the table.
No, but do you know what it is though? It creates a standard. It creates a standard as a certain level because I know, and I think we'd agree, Jurgen Klopp wouldn't have done that, right? Pep Guardiola wouldn't have done that, right? To go.
Really? Jurgen Klopp wouldn't have done that. So the season where we came back from the break. You get me? Where we lost to Arsenal and all this after
we undefeated that time. Yeah.
And that, by the way, at the time we were even chasing the Centurions thing and the players. Remember the game against Manchester City? We got slapped.
I'm not saying they didn't fall off. No, I'm not saying they didn't fall off. I'm not saying they didn't fall off. But there's a certain mentality, right? Like the players wouldn't have went on holiday. A manager wouldn't be in Ibiza with, do you know what I mean, bottle girls and, you know, purchasing a new Rolex that wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened because there's a certain level. They're there. It's like Slot for me. When in that action was like, oh, you're new to this. This isn't normal for you. Which is, I understand it, but it's not normal. When something's normal, to Mike's point, Kobe, it's normal to be there. It's normal. It's normal for Salah to be getting fit in pre-season. He's not having fun and just going to restaurants all the time. He's in the gym because there's a certain level. There's a level that he's got, which is that I am not dropping.
Yeah,
that is why he's the elite player.
The reason why I do say the context,
but the club needs to have that mentality.
Some of these losses are like against Chelsea after we were announced Premier League champions. I don't give a fuck. Like, let's be honest. Like, no one sat here after Stamford Bridge and went like, "How dare us lose that way at Chelsea?" No one cared, bro. We're league champs. That's my point. But anyway, let me just grab these two supers because I have to go join the other emergency stream.
Yeah, Civil War. This is your pre-war.
The Civil War.
The Civil War. The Civil War.
Yeah, whatever. Big up to Savage Razi who sends in an empty super chat. Thank you. I appreciate you, my brother. Big up to Fonzie who says the evil Tom Selleck is killing me right now. I have no idea who Tom Selleck is, but I appreciate it.
Oh wait, it's my profile picture. But big up, Magnum PI. Big up, big guy.
Anyway, guys, go check out Fozzy on LFC Red. Did you change your name?
No, I'll change it, man. Yeah, it's just me now. Fozzy, just Fozzy.
Oh, Fozzy TV.
I thought it's honest slot. I thought it's Slot Out TV. Sorry.
Wow. I don't do that, man.
Wow, that's nasty.
I'm old school, man.
Nasty work. That's nasty work. Okay, I'll edit it in the description. So
I'm gonna message you later, mate.
Slot Out TV.
It's Fozzy TV right now, so go check him out. You get me? Anyway, all the links are in the description. Mike Dass's channel is in the description. You get me? Jerry James's channel is in the description. You never know. They might come back to streaming. We thought there was no hope for Mike, and all of a sudden, it's Wednesday.
I was forced. Okay, I was
Wednesday.
Forced.
Liverpool
it's
still
Tuesday.
Suck.
No. Today's title was "It's Tuesday. We're still ass."
Oh, guess what? Great. Guess what? I'll put this out there. I'm going to go and drop a higher quality video if Slots leaves. That's when I'll come back. When the earth is scorched, to Mike's point, and the shoots of the trees start to emerge, that's when I'll emerge together with them. There we go.
Okay. Big up to Tyler Jones who says these players barely get rest. All of a sudden, it's bad that they rest. That's why for me, listen, after the title was done, bro, like I ain't trying to look at these games. I'm gonna be so honest with you, bro. Okay, we lost to Chelsea away after we're announced Premier League champions. Who gives a fuck? Like, I ain't trying to sit up here and fucking cry about that. Like, okay, and we're league champs. I don't care. Couldn't give a flying fuck if we lose after we're league champs. You get me? So, yeah.
They rest.
This Matt guy is such a fraud.
They rest. Like, I don't have the energy, and you have a civil war to get to. That's okay.
Matt, how is Matt a professional YouTuber and his redirect is off? Bro, what are you doing, Matt? What are you doing, bro? This guy's you're such a fucking fraud.
Tell him, don't end the stream yet. Message him, innit? I've told people anyway.
They don't want the smoke.
Oh man, that's a big.
I agree with you, Tyler. Slot won a battle with a title, but he ain't good enough to win us the war.
Good.
He's no Marcus Aurelius.
I mean, winning the Premier League is winning a war, though.
But listen. Hold on. Wait, Jerry. Wait. If you want to put the context on the losses, well, then I got to put the context on the fact that Arsenal didn't have their attackers for half the season. They dealt with injuries all season. Every time we drop points, they drop points. Wait, but hold on. You just put context on our losses. You said the job was finished, so we could lose.
The job was done, Mike.
Okay, yeah, but guess what? There needs to be context to that too. Where does the line with the context end? Do we stop it with just us, or are we not allowed to talk about other teams?
We drew 2-2.
No, 100%. But were they not riddled with injuries? Did they not drop points every time we drop points? Do you guys remember 9-5? I do. I remember 9-5, and then I remember immediately going back to 9. So again, what if we're going to play the whole context game? Then you got to play it against us too. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Context applies to everything except when you guys want to criticize Mo. Suddenly context goes out the window.
You're right. You're right. O'Reilly didn't look like Marcelo. You're right.
First of all, that's a horrible example because Marcelo used to get cooked every week in La Liga, bro. That's a very bad example.
Carreras didn't look like Cafu. Carreras didn't look like Cafu. You're right.
Use Maldini as an example, bro. Use Maldini as an example.
Whatever. Who cares? Who cares? You get the point.
I use Marcelo. Marcelo used to get
you get the point.
Fucking week,
you get the point.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna put the link in the live chat because Matt is a fraud. He hasn't replied. So here I refreshed like 3 times. So here I just put up the link in the chat. Go over there and say Husam Raid in his chat. You get me? So yeah, I'm just double checked. It's still off for him. Regardless, I love you all and see you guys over there. What a fraud.